In the kingdom of Arander, bordered by the fiery peaks of Vorthen and the storm-swept seas of the north, there lived two princes, twin sons of King Varric the Just. The elder by moments was Prince Cailan, whose spirit burned as fiercely as the blade he wielded. His hair was the color of firelight, and his eyes held the molten gold of a lion's fury. The younger, Prince Darin, bore the calm power of a storm, silent, precise, and deadly. His silver-blonde hair and piercing blue gaze earned him the name Thunderborn among the people. They were known across the realm as the Brothers of Flame and Thunder. Trained by the finest warriors in the land, Cailan mastered the art of close combat. His great sword, Infernos, could split armor like parchment. Darin, on the other hand, excelled in tactics, archery, and sorcery. His enchanted spear, Skyfang, called lightning from the heavens when hurled in battle. Though different in temperament, the brothers were inseparable. Together, they had won battles others deemed impossible. Their greatest victory came at the siege of Greywatch, where their father's holdfast was besieged by the eastern horde. With Cailan leading a fearless cavalry charge and Darin commanding lightning from the cliffs above, the brothers shattered the enemy lines and saved the realm. But peace, like the eye of a storm, was brief. Years later, when the twins were just past 20, dark rumors began to spread. Whispers of necromancers in the dead woods of Maelgr. Towns vanishing overnight. A shadow creeping across the land. The king, now growing old, called upon his sons once more. "Go together," he said. "You are the last light of Arander. If you fall, the darkness will rise unchecked." So Cailan and Darin rode out with a company of their most loyal men, swordsmen, spellcasters, and scouts. Their journey led them to the edge of the known world, where the land broke into poisoned swamps and twisted trees. There they found the truth. An ancient sorcerer named Maldrak had returned from the realm of the dead, seeking vengeance upon Arander, which had once exiled him to the void. Maldrak had forged an army of wraiths, reanimated beasts, and corrupted warriors. He moved like a plague, unseen but always near. The brothers devised a plan. Cailan would lead the frontal assault, drawing the sorcerer's minions into battle. Darin, using ancient maps and magic, would infiltrate the ruined fortress where Maldrak dwelled, and destroy the source of his power, a crystal of pure shadow known as the Heart of Morning. The night before the battle, the brothers sat by the fire, weapons laid before them. "If I fall," Cailan said, "burn me on the field. Let my flame be the last thing they see." "If I fall," Darin replied, "scatter my ashes in the storm, so I may strike from the skies." They clasped arms, warriors and brothers to the end. The dawn broke blood-red. Cailan led the charge, his armor glowing with runes of flame. His sword cleaved through undead and demon alike, and his roar echoed like thunder across the field. Behind him, his men fought like lions, inspired by his fury. Meanwhile, Darin crept through shadowed tunnels beneath Dreadspire. Using forgotten incantations, he bypassed traps and guardians, each step closer to the Heart of Morning. Above, the battle raged like a storm. But Maldrak was ready. He emerged from the keep's highest tower, cloaked in black fire, his eyes like bottomless pits. He struck Cailan with dark magic, sending him flying. The prince rose, battered but unbroken. "Face me," Cailan roared. "Or are you too afraid to taste fire?" They clashed in a whirlwind of steel and sorcery. Deep within the fortress, Darin found the heart. But as he prepared to destroy it, a figure stepped from the shadows, a corrupted knight, once their uncle, believed dead in a distant war. "You cannot kill what holds your blood," the knight rasped. But Darin had no time for ghosts. With a cry to the heavens, he called lightning through the stone itself. Skyfang flew from his hand like a comet, striking the heart and shattering it into 1,000 shards. Above, Maldrak screamed as his power unraveled. Cailan struck the killing blow, driving Infernos through the sorcerer's chest. The sky split as the darkness was torn away. The undead crumbled. The fortress fell. The brothers returned home scarred, weary, but victorious. Their father passed in peace soon after, naming them co-rulers of Arander. Kaelin took the armies and borders, ensuring strength and safety. Darin took the cities and lands, fostering wisdom and peace. Together, they ruled as twin kings, their unity a beacon for all the realm. Legends say that in the hour of Arander's greatest need, the brothers of flame and thunder will rise again, riding fire and lightning to battle the darkness. But until that day, their story lives on in the songs of bards and the hearts of warriors. 2 decades had passed since the brothers of flame and thunder banished the darkness of Maldrak. Under their united rule, Arander thrived. New cities rose. The Academy of Stormfire, a bastion of magic and martial training, was built in the capital of Hyreach. Trade flourished. Peace endured. But peace breeds complacency. And in the depths of the earth, something ancient stirred. It began with tremors in the west. Rivers running black, animals fleeing, miners whispering of tunnels where stone bled and whispered names in languages no man should know. Scholars traced it to the Worldrift, a sealed chasm older than memory, hidden beneath the mountains of Vorthen. Kaelin, now hardened by age but still unmatched with a blade, led a force to investigate. Darin, ever cautious, sent scouts and studied the signs. What they discovered was worse than either imagined. The Worldrift was breaking open, and from it emerged creatures not of this world. Obsidian-skinned horrors with no eyes, no mouths, only hunger. They were the Vrelan, an ancient race exiled from time itself. And they had returned. The twin kings argued for the first time in years. Kaelin believed in striking fast and hard, closing the rift with steel and fire before the Vrelan could establish a foothold. Darin, however, feared the rift was not just a portal, but a wound in the world itself. If closed improperly, it could unravel reality. "You still believe in diplomacy with monsters," Kaelin growled. "And you still believe every problem can be solved with a sword," Darin replied coldly. Their council was divided. The army split. For the first time, the twin kings stood on opposite strategies. Kaelin marched west with the Flame Guard, the elite warriors of Arander. Darin remained in Hyreach, poring over arcane tomes and contacting the Ellerin, an ancient order of time mages believed extinct. The world watched, unsure which brother was right. Kaelin reached the Worldrift first, and found it swarming. Thousands of Vrelan moved like a living shadow. With a roar, he led the charge. Infernos burned with the fury of the sun. The Flame Guard fought valiantly, holding the line for 3 days and nights. But it was not enough. The Vrelan had no fear, no fatigue. They poured from the chasm without end. Kaelin, realizing the risk to his men, ordered a retreat. Then the sky split open. A vortex formed above the rift, and from it descended a Vrelan warlord clad in living obsidian. He wielded no weapon, only void magic that erased all it touched. Kaelin faced him alone. They battled atop a crumbling bridge of stone and fire. Kaelin's sword met the void and the land shook. With a final cry, Kaelin drove Infernos into the warlord's chest. But he vanished with the creature into the rift as it exploded outward in a storm of black light. The news broke Arander. Kaelin was gone, presumed dead. Infernos was found buried in stone, still burning. Darin retrieved it himself, kneeling before it in silence. He wore no crown afterward. Instead, he forged a new one, a silver circlet of storm metal etched with Kaelin's sigil. He declared a time of mourning, but also war. The Vrelan had grown bold, spilling into nearby lands. But Darin did not raise armies. He raised barriers. He spent the next 5 years sealing ley lines, rebuilding the ancient watchtowers of the Vale, and leading a war of minds, not just swords. He built the Ether Ring, a magical array of pylons meant to collapse the rift from within permanently. He succeeded. The Worldrift shuddered, then collapsed into itself with a sound like a dying god's scream. The Vrelan vanished. Arander was safe, but Kaelin was never found. 10 years passed. Darin ruled alone. His hair turned white. The people called him the Storm King. Peace returned, but joy did not. Then, one night, a scout stumbled into Highreach half-mad. He spoke of a place beyond the rift, an island floating in endless black. A single figure stood there, surrounded by fire. His armor bore the crest of Erandur. Callan. Darin ordered the mages to reopen the portal, just enough to send a single vessel across the rift. He would go himself. The people begged him not to. The realm could not lose its last king. But he left anyway. His final words were carved into the gates of Highreach. He walked into flame. I will walk into storm. And where the sky breaks, we shall return together. Some say the rift never reopened. Others claim to have seen two figures standing atop the cliffs of Vorthen, one wreathed in flame, the other cloaked in lightning, watching the horizon in silence. Legends tell of two swords buried in stone, side by side, waiting for hands worthy to wield them. They are no longer called kings. They are called wardens of the rift. And when the next shadow comes, the brothers of flame and thunder will rise again.